everybody, and welcome to another video by Pan Society. I'm Cherie, and I wanted to start off by giving you my gratitude for taking the time to watch this video. Today's video is going to be on ego, and when I talk about ego, I'm talking about the negative side of it, like a super inflated ego or a bad spiritual ego. There's a couple of signs or things that happen, and it can happen to anybody, so I just want to put it out there so that maybe you can recognize the signs if it's starting to happen to you, or if you see it in someone else, you can kind of help somebody or keep them in check so they don't cross that line. One of the big things I notice is some people have this need to always be the leader, like they feel like they've learned everything that there is to learn, they've studied everything, and that's kind of scary, because then you're just saying that you're at the top and there's just no room for growth or any more learning, and that's just not true. I think we can always learn, and we always grow, and we can always change, and there's always an exchange of ideas as well as we all evolve. Another thing is, if you feel like you're above other people, and then you get annoyed when people ask you for help, and you don't feel like you should communicate with others, and that's a really bad one, because there's always someone new coming into spirituality or whatever modality they want to practice, and if they come across people like that feel like they have no time for them and that they're above them, they're going to get discouraged and not want to try. They're not going to want to try their hand at it. They're not going to want to learn, because they're going to assume everybody in that modality or belief system is going to be like that. And that's kind of sad, because as we get closer and closer to feeling connections with everybody, that's what we want. Is we want that community, we want that connection, we want that tribe. So we don't want to deal with people like that, and that elitism, that feeling like you're better than everybody. Especially, I see it like on forums and Facebook groups and chat, things like that, where you're always going to see someone ask a question where they are an absolute beginner. They are starting from day one, and they'll ask something that may seem silly or you've heard it 1,000 times. But you have to remember that every day someone new is coming along. Hopefully more than one, but everybody has to start somewhere. So always be gracious and humble enough to point them in the right direction, or give them some encouragement, because you may be the first and only voice they hear that day. And if you are on an ego trip and you give them a negative vibe or a negative feel, they're not going to come back, and we don't want that. We want everybody to be happy and enlightened and feel joy, you know. The other thing is, if you're on an ego trip, instead of letting people figure out how to get there, or what their thoughts are, or to work through their feelings, you keep telling them, oh, it should be done this way, or you got to do it that way, or you need this, or that's never going to work. It's not really encouraging, and it doesn't actually help people learn or grow, because sometimes we have to stumble, or sometimes we have to feel something through and work it out in order for us to truly believe it, or truly know it's there, or to truly understand it. So if someone's going to sit there and constantly tell us how it's supposed to be, we're not going to get it, and then that's another discouragement, because then we won't honestly truly feel something, and then we won't know what's real, or we won't know what's real for us. So if you find yourself telling someone how to do something all the time, or what to do, maybe you might need to step back and just give them the space and encouragement to figure it out for themselves, so that they can get it done. Another thing is, and I think I've been guilty of this for sure, is when you surround yourself with only like-minded people and yes people. And these are the people that are always going to agree with you. And it sounds great at first, and it sounds like a utopia, but the truth is if you don't have people that are going to ask questions or maybe challenge you or keep you in check if they have to, you're just going to get into a spot where you just think you're never wrong, and that's not good for anybody, you know, whether it be in the spiritual world, whether it be financially in the finance world, business, or your personal life. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you become better or, you know, grow. So make sure you have people around that you enjoy being around and that they don't cause you stress. But also pick people that will ask questions and are new and will challenge you. If you hear any noises, it's a kitty playing. We forgot to pick up all the noisy toys. If you have this need to always be the leader, or you feel like you never need, that you've learned it all and you don't need to look anymore, learn anymore, then, you know, that's one of those, probably one of the worst pitfalls. And I think the last thing that I have on my mind about ego trips, especially in the spiritual world, is there's lots of information out there and there's a lot of people. I get bothered by people that trademark other people's ideas or copyright other people's ideas, or if it's a folk thing that's out there or it's always been there and then you're just going to say it's yours, you made it up. I understand when you're writing a book or a recipe or creating a product, that's one thing, but when you're taking something we clearly know was out there way before you ever came along, and then you put a trademark on it and then said you're doing it for the betterment of the community, and then you turn around and try to sue someone or send cease and desist letters to someone, you're not doing it for the community, you're doing it for yourself, and that doesn't help anybody. That's just a selfish move. And then it also kills movements of, you know, people joining spiritual movements or learning more, or even trying to join groups. Or it also kills sharing ideas and sharing journeys together, because we're afraid that that's going to happen. Like, we're always looking over our shoulder for someone who's going to take our stuff from us, and that's not cool. So my whole point of this video is I don't want to call out anybody in particular. That's not my thing, because that just divides us. But I just wanted to put it out there so that you can be aware of behavior, and if you see it in yourself, you can distance yourself from either the people that are influencing it, or check yourself, or make sure you have somebody around you that will check you too, so that you don't go into those tropes. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have a story to share about an ego trip, or you have other ideas that maybe I didn't mention, or if I misspoke, please let me know down below and comment, and I will read them, and, you know, we'll have a conversation. Also, there's other videos on the Pan YouTube channel. Laura did an amazing video on sovereignty a couple of weeks ago. Jonah has some great things on Taoism, and Tisha has some really amazing things on authenticity that you guys should check out. That being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.